What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I am the Poetic Killer, and in today's video, we're going to be reading the poem Short and Sweet and For the Better. So, we're going to start off with Short and Sweet. All right, let's get to it. Overthinking clouds the mind. All sequences end at the number 9. The time to create a legacy is now. When you're dedicated, all foes will bow. Connect to all things, but never be attached. In this world, no one is alone. Everyone has a match. Each day should be appreciated like it's the last. Embrace your true self and disregard that internal mask. And that is short and sweet. Now it says, overthinking clouds the mind, all sequences end at the number 9. So overthinking, like I said, the heavens represents your higher hemisphere, which is within this area, while the earth or the lower hemisphere will be below the waist. You know what I'm saying? So if you're having too much overthinking, that's going to cloud the mind. So the natural cloud, sorry, the natural cloud is like your mind, the imagination. That's why you see in a lot of paintings, in a lot of movies and TV shows, they always show like the heavens with the cloud. So that's what it's talking about. You have to see that as your heaven, like your temple of God, right? So if you're overthinking a lot, it's going to be too cloudy. It's going to be full of cloud. It's going to be very dim. There will be not enough sunlight for you to be able to brighten up that mind to see where you need to go. So it's very important that you don't overthink, because if you're overthinking, there's going to be too much thoughts and feelings, and you won't have enough clear imagination to create what you need to create within yourself. So it's very important that you're tapping into that energy of clairvoyance. Then it says all sequences end at the number 9. Like I've said in my previous video, we have from 0 to 9. The cosmic womb representing the 0, the feminine womb representing the 6, and number 9 is the mental womb, the last part of existence, the last part of birth. And we're also in the year number 9 based on the Gregorian calendar, right? Because every calendar is different depending on what country or region you're at. So it's very important that you realize that there are different sequences in existence. And once you've passed each sequence, that's when you become a full context. You've created a full cycle. So you have to know how to tap into each energy. So go back to my video for the numerology 101 if you want to learn more about that. Then it says, the time to create a legacy is now. When you're dedicated, all foes will bow. So the time to create a legacy is now. You have to realize that the best timing is to do it now. You cannot procrastinate. The more you procrastinate, the more you're wasting time, the more you're allowing your potential to go and slip away from you, and your destiny is slipping away from you too. So it's very important that you realize if you have a goal, you have a vision, whenever you have the chance to achieve that, take the opportunity so you don't miss it. And then it says, when you're dedicated, all foes will bow. So the people who oppose you or don't believe in you will have no choice but to acknowledge your strength and your dedication, no matter what you're going through, especially if you have a strong passion to achieve what you want to achieve. They will have no choice. That's why sometimes you have to let your actions do the speaking. Because if you speak, people might not believe you. You put in the work and put in the action, and then people have no choice but to acknowledge your dedication. Then it says, connect to all things, but never be attached. In this world, no one is alone. Everyone has a match. So connecting to all things, but never be attached. It's just saying, just like your body eventually has to discard back onto the earth, right? Or discard back into the atmosphere. So whatever you're creating outside of you is something that you should appreciate and acknowledge, but never be attached to it, because you have to realize that these things that have a birthing must also have an expiring date. That's how existence works. Anything that is born must die, and that is the cycle of life. So you have to acknowledge and appreciate what you have in the current and experience it, but at the same time, do not fully attach to it and feel like that is you. You know what I'm saying? You're just experiencing a version of you, just like your mind is a version of you or a version of your soul, and your body is a version of your mind. So you have to always realize these things. And that's when you won't feel like when something is leaving, you're also leaving with it. Then it says, in this world, no one is alone. Everyone has a match. So everything is dualistic in nature. You know what I'm saying? Everything has duality. There's always a masculine and feminine based on that whole. You know what I'm saying? That's how we come into existence. It has a male and a female that come together, intertwine to create a child. You know what I mean? You have a thought and a feeling that comes together to create an experience. That's why it even says in the Bible when the animals were going into the ark, there were two animals each within the ark, which represents, your dualistic energy. That's all it's talking about. It's talking about your dualistic energy that comes in twos. So everything comes in twos. So never be polarized, because whenever you're polarized and you think one thing is better than the other, that's when you're missing the whole context of something. You're missing the point. Then it says, um, connect to all things, but never be attached. In this world, no one is alone. Everyone has a match. So connect to. Oh yeah, sorry, I already read that. Yeah, in this world, no one is alone. Everyone has a match. So everything's dualistic in nature. So you don't have to feel alone. Even when you're by yourself, you have to realize that even when you're by yourself, your inner self, or if you want to call it your higher self or your inner self, is always with you. So never think you're alone. You're never alone. Even when there is no physical person around you, you still have that inner self that is within you, which is the invisible self of yourself. And you're always guiding yourself into different experiences and different destinations to remind yourself of what you're here to do and to fulfill the destiny that you're here to fulfill. Then it says, each day should be appreciated like it's the last. Embrace your true self and disregard that internal mask. So each day should be appreciated like it's the last. You should always see each day you're experiencing as something that might not be here again tomorrow. And the more you think like that, the more you actually want to do things because you won't procrastinate. You won't think, oh, okay, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it in a week or 3 weeks. If you see each day as your last, you always say, like, okay, I'm going to do as much as I can within this day to achieve what I need to achieve. And now that doesn't mean that you should exhaust yourself to the point where you're doing so many things in one day that you don't have time to rest. Remember, there's everything, like I said, is dualistic. There's time to play and there's time to rest. I'm sorry, there's time to play and then there's time to work. So do as much as you can, but also don't overextend yourself that you're deteriorating your energy and your health. Then it says, embrace your true self and disregard that internal mask. So the more you embrace yourself, the more you start to value yourself, the more you start to love yourself, the more people outside of you that disregard your potential, it won't matter anymore what they say or how they feel because you know yourself now. So even when they throw doubts into your mind or into your mentality, you realize, okay, that is their perception, not yours. But if you allow their perception to merge into yours, now you're going to start seeing things the way they want you to see things. So it's very important that you're seeing things in your own unique way. And you're creating your own unique vision for yourself because we're all here to achieve what we're here to achieve based on our own personal journey. You know what I'm saying? So if you have people who are aligned with your journey, then that's a beautiful thing. You can work with them to create something even more grander and even more greater. But if people are opposing you, that's also fine because within existence, you're always going to have opposers and people who are for you. And that's just how life is. But never have an internal mask where you feel like you have to always conform to things that doesn't truly serve you or truly correlate to your energy and is conducive to your atmosphere. You have to always put yourself first. And the people who are right there for you will be there for you. And the people who are not will eventually, leave and find something else or find someone else to either change themselves or find themselves to oppose. And they'll have to do their own journey and learn from themselves. But that is none of your business. You just have to work on yourself. And that's the most important thing. So, yeah, guys, that is the poem, short and sweet. Now, let's get to the next poem, For the Better. A new chapter, a new beginning. Finally coming up, yeah, a new chapter, a new beginning. Finally came up with a decision. Freedom of expression is extremely vital. Love of self destroys all possible rivals. Each day is an opportunity to be productive. Allowing circumstances to control you can be awful. An organized individual has the ability to strive. Creating something new is when you are truly alive. And that is for the better. Now it says a new chapter, a new beginning finally came up with a decision. So a new chapter, a new beginning is just saying that everything is a cycle and you always have another opportunity to create something new or to start back from where you left off and create something new and expand yourself. That's what it's talking about. So when you have a new chapter, you have a new beginning, and it's up to you to fulfill that book, which is your experience, and your body is like the ink writing writing yourself into history or her story, no matter what. But your story is really a mystery until you unravel that, which is called the present. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called the present. You have to unravel your mystery, which is my story. And once you do that, that's when things will start to work for you. But if you're lost in other people's story, then you're gonna be just an extra in their movie. You won't be the main character. You won't be the hero of that book or of that experience or of that movie. So it's very important that you're always putting yourself first and you're creating your own movie. You're the director, the producer, and the camera and the lights. You're doing all of it. You know what I'm saying? And then everyone else is just the background or co actor and things like that. But you're the person that is directing the movie, and you're correlating things to how you want things to appear and play out. Then it says, freedom of expression is extremely vital. Love of self destroys all possible rivals. So, freedom of expression is extremely vital. The most important thing is for you to express yourself freely and truly. Because the more you do that, the more you start to feel alive. You know what I'm saying? Because you're creating, you're using that energy. Like in astrology, you're using the fifth house energy to create. And that is the energy of the sun, right? And the energy of the sun, what does the sun do? It gives life to plants, it gives life to things. So that's the same energy you want to tap into. You want to be able to you want to be able to shine and illuminate the world with your energy and illuminate the world with your expression. And the more you do that, the more you'll be alive and you're fulfilling yourself with the energy that you're utilizing to actually create something new within your life. Then it says, love of self destroys all possible rivals. So love of self will destroy all possible rivals because your opposers will want to make you feel like you're not capable, will want to make you feel like you cannot achieve, will want to make you feel like you're less than and you're inferior, right? But the more you love yourself, the more you value yourself, the more those things will be disregarded and you won't even pay attention and energy to that. You actually laugh at those type of mentality or projection because it's all just projection. It's not really your experience. It's not really your mentality. It's just something someone or some people are trying to project onto you. And if you have a strong mind, those things will just bounce off. You know, you have a very strong shield that when they throw those things, those darts, it will bounce back and go back to them. And they will have to look back and be like, okay, I should have utilized my energy to work on myself instead of utilizing my energy to try to put other people down. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to work on yourself pretty much and love yourself and value yourself. Everything else will take care of itself. Then it says, each day is an opportunity to be productive. Allowing circumstances to control you can be awful. So when you allow your environment to control your internal environment, your external environment to control your internal environment, that's when you're living backwards. But the more you utilize your internal environment to control your external environment, that's when you're moving forward. You know what I mean? You're doing things in the right cycle. So it's very important that you're not allowing other people or things or environments to make you feel like you cannot be yourself. And if that is happening, then it's very important that you start taking the steps to disregard or dissociate yourself from those situations or those people, places, and things. Then it says, an organized individual has the ability to strive. Creating something new is when you truly feel alive. So the more you're organized, the more things will be in a nice routine and pattern. The more it will flow. You know what I mean? It's like that sixth house energy now, that Virgo energy of things flowing as a routine and pattern. And that's when you start to become more healthy, energetic wise and mentally and physically. Things will start to work out for you because now you're more organized and things is more like in a routine, like a cycle. It's like a wheel and you're willing things into existence now because it's a cycle that is moving in a organized formation. But if things are chaotic or disregard, not saying that chaos is not a good thing when it's needed, but everything is needed at its perfect timing, at its perfect circumstances. But if you want to achieve things into your life and bring things into fruition and harvest things into your life, sixth house energy, that's when you have to make things into a routine and a pattern. And that's when things will start to flow for you and come naturally for you and start a harvest and be tangible for you to experience. And then it says, creating something new is when you truly feel alive. So when you create something new, it's like giving birth. Now that child is alive. That child is alive. You know what I mean? Or that soul is really experiencing what it has to experience. So the more you create something new, the more your mind is refreshed. And the more your mind is refreshed, the more your vessel is refreshed. And you start to look more refreshed. You start to glow more. You start to look more happy and more vibrant and more glowing, you know what I mean? More radiant. But the more you allow things to die within you, okay, you're not creating new energy, you're not creating new perspectives and new ideas and new creativity, you're not tapping into your creativity, the more things will start to slow down for you. So it's very important that you're always tapping into something new. You're always looking for new aspects and new energies to tap into so that you can feel alive within you. And the best way to feel alive is by going within and discovering who you truly are and what makes you happy and what makes you get up each day to want to achieve what you want to achieve. So it's very important that you find your passion, you find what makes you happy and makes you want to keep going every day, or else you won't really feel alive. So that is all up to you. You know, don't let other people tell you what truly makes you happy. What truly makes you happy is what you have to discover for yourself. And the more you discover that for yourself, everything else will fall into place. So yeah, guys, those are the poems for today's video. Hope you guys gained something new. Always tap into your energy, tap into yourself. If you want to find the answers, you got to go within. And once you do that, everything else will come naturally for you. See you guys. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you soon.